Hello everyone, welcome to today's session of paper discussion, chemistry, part test 9. Here the very first question we are having, question number 51. 1 mole CaCO3 is heated in 11.2 liter vessel so that equilibrium is established at 819 Kelvin. If Kp for CaCO3 giving us CaO plus CO2 at this temperature is 2 atm, the equilibrium concentration of CO2 in mole per liter will be. Okay, so we need to see what exactly they are giving. We are talking about 1 mole CaCO3 and it is giving us a reaction which is CaCO3 a solid. It is giving us what? CaO solid, and along with that what will be having? Will be having a CO2 gas. Now the other data which is provided is equilibrium constant, right? Kp for this reaction is given. Now if I need to understand what is Kp for this reaction, it will be simply what? Pressure of CO2, pressure of CO2 at equilibrium. So can I say that ultimately they are giving you what? Ultimately they are giving you pressure of CO2 at equilibrium, which is 2 atm, right? Which is 2 atm. So with this I can say that pressure of CO2 is 2 atm. Now they are talking about what will be the equilibrium concentration of CO2. If we know that pressure is there, so for this CO2, if I will be applying the equation PV is equal to nRT, what I will be getting? P value is 2, or from here only I can just simplify, will be having N by V, it will be coming what? P by RT. Also P value for CO2 is 2, R value will be having what? 0.0821, temperature is given which is 819, and now they have given like this is our last calculation which we have to do, and they have given this solutions or answers in a fraction. So for now I will just also use a calculator to do this calculation quickly, and we should be getting the answer 0.0821 into 819. I will be getting 67.24. So here I will be having 67.24, and when we will be simplifying it further, will be getting what? 1 divided by 3 and 6 and 2, right? So this will be coming as the answer which is there in option C. So option C will be the correct answer. Coming to the key points of this question, we are taking the reaction. First of all, we need to understand what's the reaction given. The data is Kp, which is nothing but pressure of CO2 at equilibrium. So after getting pressure of CO2, we just need to apply the equation. Pv is equal to nRT. We will be coming to concentration, moles by volume, and we will be getting 1 upon 33.6, which will be the answer, 51. Coming to 52 number, we are having if Rf is equal to 10 raised to power 6 Ag positive ammonia concentration per 2 liter square, some unit is there, and Rb is given 2 into 10 raised to power minus 2 and AgNH3 twice positive concentration, then we need to talk about instability constant for this reaction. And if I can see the reaction, it is the complex formation reaction from what? From a silver ion, and along with that we are having what? 2 ammonia, and Ag plus 2 ammonia, when they will be reacting, it will be giving us what? AgNH3 twice, and here will be having what? Here will be having positive. This is our complex formation, and for this only they are asking about instability constant. So instability constant is a constant which is related to the complex formation, and it talks about how stable your complex will be forming. And instability constant, we have the formula. In stability constant, we have the formula which is equal to what? 1 upon K equilibrium, means a reverse of K equilibrium. And in order to find out K equilibrium, they have given you one data which is Rf and Rb. Rf means rate of the forward reaction, and Rb means rate of the backward reaction. Okay, and now in this rate of forward reaction, can I say that rate constant of forward reaction is given what? 10 raised to power power 6, right, Kf. So this is nothing but rate constant of the forward reaction. Likewise, we can have Kb, which will be rate constant of backward reaction. It is what? It is 2 into 10 raised to power minus 2. And we know that at equilibrium, what will be having? Rf will be equal to Rb, and with this only we understand K equilibrium will be equal to what? K forward divided by what? Divided by K backward. And now we are not looking for K equilibrium. What we can do, just substitute this thing over there, and we'll be getting what? Instability constant will be coming Kb divided by what? Kb divided by Kf. And with this only, if we look at Kb value, it is 2 into 10 raised to power minus 2 divided by what we are having? 10 raised to power 6, which will be giving us what? 2 into 10 raised to power minus 8. This would be coming as an answer. So option C would be the correct answer. Again, discussing about key points, if they are giving you the reaction, first of all, see, it's some complex formation reaction, and the term which they are asking you, that is also instability constant, which is related to the stability of complex formation. It is quite reverse of K equilibrium. K equilibrium you can find out with this Kf and Kb, and after substituting, you are understanding instability constant is this low 2 into 10 to the power minus 8 means this complex will be quite stable and reaction will be more in the forward direction only, right? This would be the understanding. So option C would be the correct answer, 52. Coming to next question, 53. The dissociation equilibrium of a gas AB2 can be represented as 2AB2 gas giving us 2AB gas plus B2 gas. The degree of dissociation X is very small as compared to 1. The expression which relates the degree of dissociation with equilibrium constant and total pressure is okay. So some dissociation equilibrium of gas AB2 is provided, which is 2AB2 gas giving us what? It is giving us 2AB gas, and along with that, what will be having? We'll be having a B2 gas. Now we need to talk about degree of dissociation. Degree of dissociation X, and we need to give the expression. So again, if we need to do that, so we'll have to talk about T is equal to 0 moles as well as T is equal to T equilibrium. So let us suppose at T is equal to 0, we are starting with some 2 moles of AB2. And if we are starting from 2 moles of AB2, let us suppose at T equilibrium some 2x moles of AB2 is dissociated, means X will be here a degree of dissociation. So 2 minus 2x, it will be giving us what? 2x and x only, right? 2x and x only. And next if we talk about total number of moles at equilibrium, it will be what? Total moles at equilibrium, it will be simply 2 minus 2x plus 3x, it will be 2 plus x. Now although they have given you like one simplification thing, which is degree of dissociation X is very small as compared to 1. So if you want to apply this over here, it will be like quite simplified. Or if in the end also you can put X value in the Kp expression, like X you can neglect with respect to 1. So here if I will be if X value is very less, so I can say that 2 plus X will be written as what? 2 only. And now I need to write down what? Kp expression. Kp expression will be what? Product partial pressure divided by reactant partial pressure. So product में we are having AB, right? AB will be having what? 2x by 2. This will be the mole fraction of what? AB, and along with that complete total pressure at equilibrium, let us say it is P raised to power 2. Here what will be having? X divided by 2 and capital P, and here will be having power 1 and divided by will be having mole fraction. Now 2 minus 2x also in the simplified manner what I can do, because as x is very less, so 1 minus x or 2x will be very less compared to 2, so it will also be coming as 2 only. Okay, so for this if I try to find out the mole fraction, it will be 2 by 2 right? 2 by 2 into capital P, and here will be having what? Here will be having a square. Now if I will be simplifying it, this is cancelling, this is cancelling, will be having x square and p square, let us say it is also cancelling x square, and here will be having what? X by 2, and here will be having p, and this simplified version we are getting only because they have asked us, they have told us ki x is very small, the dissociation x is very small, so we are neglecting it with respect to 2 here, and we'll be getting what? We'll be getting kp is equal to x cube into p by 2, and from here if I'll do simplification further, I will be getting what? X will be coming to kp by p, and raised to power what? Raised to power 3, means which answer is looking correct here? The answer will be option D only. Okay, now if we need to discuss about what are the key points for this 53 number, they are talking about some dissociation reaction, cool, and further they are giving you dissociation is there, but it is very small as compared to 1, so we can do like simplification further, and we need to relate, we need to give an expression which will relate x with equilibrium constant and total pressure. So first I have written T equilibrium values, and then finding out mole fraction, the total number of moles here, 2x by 2, it will be simply xp, and x by 2p, and it will be what? 2 by 2p square, and after this simplification I will be getting what? I will be getting option D as an answer. Okay. Next we are having question number 54, the equilibrium constant of a reaction A2 plus B2 giving us 2AB at 100 degrees Celsius is 50 if a 1 liter flask containing 1 mole of A2 is connected to a 2 liter flask containing 2 moles of B. How many moles of AB will be formed at 373 Kelvin? So again some reaction is provided, which is A2 gas plus B2 gas giving us what? Giving us 2AB gas. Okay, 2AB gas, and we are doing this at 100 degrees Celsius, and K equilibrium is also provided, which is what? K equilibrium is given 50. Next thing is if 1 liter flask, this equilibrium is established if a 1 liter flask containing 1 mole of A2 is connected to a 2 liter flask containing 2 moles of B. Okay, and how many moles of AB will be formed at 373 Kelvin? So I can say that we are starting with 1 mole of A2 in the mixture, and B2 moles is what? 2, and we do not know about how much has been dissociated. Because of that, like after understanding how much of A2 and B2 will be reacting, with that only we can understand how much amount of AB will be forming. So let us say T is equal to 0, we are starting with some 1 mole of A2 and 2 moles of B2. Let us suppose T is equal to T equilibrium, some X mole of A2 has reacted, and same way some X mole of B2 will be reacting. How much AB will be forming? It will be forming 2X, right? It will be forming 2X. Now the good part here is they have given you K equilibrium, and as I can see that delta Ng for this reaction is 0 only, so you can write this K equilibrium, or I shall say Kp will be similar to Kn, or it will be similar to Kc only, right? Equilibrium constant in terms of concentrations. So here we are talking about moles, so I can just simply write it like this. K equilibrium will be what? It will be 2x of product, 2x moles of product raised to power 2, and divided by what will be having 1 minus x and 2 minus x, and this K value, this K value is already given, which is 50. So 50 will be equal to what? 4x square divided by 2 minus 2x minus x, 2 minus 3x, and plus what? Plus x square. And when we will be simplifying it further, we shall be getting 15 to 200 here minus 150x, and along with that what will be having 50x square is equal to what? Is equal to 4x square. And now 50 minus 4, 46, 46x square minus 150x plus 100 will be equal to 0. Now the next task will be solving this equation and getting the value of x, because ultimately they are asking about how many moles of AB will be forming, right? So if x value will be coming, you can just simply do the multiplication by 2, and it is a normal equation, right? We can easily find out the x ka value. Just give me a minute, right? Just give me a moment. Let me find out what all x values will be getting from here. Okay, the one value of x which will be coming here is 0.93, right? Approx 0.934 it will be coming, and the second value you will see it will be some greater than 2, right? And now we need to understand which value we'll be taking here, because ultimately we are saying we are starting with some A2 ka 1 mole we are starting with, so x is what? The number of moles of A2 which has been dissociated, so it cannot exceed 2 here, right? So which value will be taking x is equal to 0.93, and now we need to talk about what? Moles of AB which will be forming, and moles of AB will be what? 2x, so we'll be having what? 2 into 0.93, it will be coming 236, 2918, 1.8 6 means B option should be the correct answer here. So this is how we are supposed to deal with this question, and the key point here will be some reaction is provided. They are again talking about equilibrium, and they are telling how we are performing this reaction by taking 1 mole of one flask which is containing 1 mole of A2, and which we are connecting it to a 2-liter flask which is containing 2 moles of B. So ultimately they are going to react and we'll be getting AB. So I just written T equilibrium data or T equilibrium expression in terms of moles, 1 minus x, 2 minus x, some 2x will be forming. Then I've written K equilibrium here, delta NC is equal to 0, so like we'll be having 1 K equilibrium, so I'm writing this in terms of moles, won't affect, right? And we'll be getting some equation after solving x value, and in the last we'll be getting 2x value, which is the amount or the number of moles of AB which will be forming. This is how B answer will be coming. Coming to 55 number, when equal volumes of the following solutions are mixed, precipitation of AgCl precipitation will occur only with what all solution? Okay, AgCl we are having sparingly soluble salt, for which we are having KSP data. KSP is given what? 1.8 into 10 raised to power minus 10. This data is given for AgCl. And now we need to understand in like out of all these 4 options, which option we will be getting the precipitation, and for this I can see that in A option only, if I try to see the ionic product, right, Ki, if I try to find out, it will be Ag positive concentration into what? Cl minus, so we'll be having what? 10 raised to power minus 4 and 10 raised to power minus 4, so it is simply what? 10 raised to power minus 8, and I can see that here Ki is what? Ki is greater than the ionic product is greater than what? KSP, right? KSP means when it is a saturated solution. Now if ionic product is more than that, means it is oversaturated solution, so the precipitation of AgCl will occur. On the other hand, if you look at the B options, in this case we'll be having 10 to the minus 12, and other cases also Ki will be what? It will be lesser than KSP. So clearly the correct option here will be what? It will be option A only. Okay, so we just need to understand what is precipitation conditions and how do we relate it with KSP, and yeah, idea is clear. Coming to 56 number, we are having at 25 degrees Celsius the solubility product of MgOH2 is given 1 into 10 raised to power minus 11. This is solubility product of MgOH2. We are having at which pH? Okay, there is little correction in the statement of the question. The statement should be at which pH will Mg2 plus ion start precipitating from a solution, start precipitating in the form of MgOH2 from a solution of 0.001 Mg2 positive ion, from a solution of 0.001 Mg2 positive ions. Okay, so it's like we are having a Ksp value for magnesium hydroxide, and we need to talk about when magnesium hydroxide ion will start precipitating from a solution, at what pH it will be happening, right? So for this, what we need to do, we will be having Mg2 positive. So if I try to write down Ksp expression, Ksp will be what? It will be Mg2 positive, and along with that we'll be having what? OH minus square, and OH minus raised to power 2, and Ksp value is given what? 1 into 10 raised to power minus 11, so it stands for minus 11 only. And here Mg2 positive, what's the concentration given? It is given 10 raised to power minus 3, and we need to find out OH minus concentration. And in this case, if I see here, it will be 10 to the minus 8. When we'll be taking raised to power half, it will be coming what? 10 raised to power minus 4, and with this only I am understanding pOH value will be what? It will be 4, and with this only we shall understand if pOH will be 4, pH will be what? 10. Now you must be thinking why we are coming to this calculation of OH minus concentration. We need to talk about when this Mg2 positive ion will start precipitating, right? So if OH minus concentration we find out with the help of Ksp, so OH minus concentration is coming 10 to the power minus 4, means pH will be coming 10, right? So if pH will be 10, your solution will be what? It will be your saturated solution, right? Because we are finding out this pH or OH minus concentration with the help of Ksp. So at this pH your solution will be saturated and precipitation will be starting, and they are talking about that condition only. So what should be the answer here? The answer should be 10, right? The answer should be 10. These are very simple question, it's simply related to Ksp, finding out concentration and giving the pH value. Next question we are having, in the following equilibrium we are having the equation N2O4 gaseous giving us 2NO2 gaseous. Okay, when 5 mole each is taken and the temperature is kept at 298 Kelvin, the total pressure was found to be 20 bar when delta GF naught of N2O4 is given 100 kilojoule and delta GF naught NO2 is 50 kilojoule. Okay, we need to talk about how will be the reaction, right? Whether it will proceed in backward direction or forward direction, or what will be there. So first of all, see the reaction which is given N2O4 gaseous providing us what? Providing us 2NO2 gas, and they are saying that we are starting with some 5 mole of both, right? Temperature is 298 and the total pressure, right? We are starting with 5 moles of N2O4 and 5 moles of NO2, and the total pressure is what? Total pressure of this will be what? It will be 20 bar, right? It will be 20 bar. And now we need to talk about how will be the reaction condition, right? Whether it will be in equilibrium or it will be moving towards the forward direction or backward direction. For this, first of all, let us find out delta G naught of the reaction. Delta G naught of reaction, it will be what? It will be coming, because they have given delta G naught of N2O4 and NO2, so it will be 2 into delta G. of NO2, so it will be 2 into what? 50, product minus reactant, and reactant is N2O4, for which it is given 100. So 100 minus 100, delta G naught of the reaction is coming 0. And in order to understand the direction of the reaction, we shall be talking about what? Delta G, which is equal to delta G naught plus RT ln QP, right? RT ln QP. Here delta G naught is already given 0, and we'll be having what? RT ln QP. Now we need to understand what is QP. It is a reaction quotient, right? Reaction quotient, which will be related to your reactant and product, right? So if I need to find out QP, it will be what? Pressure of your product divided by your reactant, okay? Now if you look at N2O4 and NO2, both we are starting with 5 moles, so both will be having mole fraction of half, and total pressure is given what? 20 bar, right? So partial pressure of both should be what? Pressure of N2O4, it will be what? 1 by 2 into 20 means it will be 10 only. Same for the NO2. So can I say that if I write QP expression, it will be coming what? 10 square. I am writing in terms of pressure, right? And downside also will be having 10. So QP will be simply coming 10. And here if I substitute 10, you will see that you need not to solve this, right? If you are solving it, that's another thing. But here in order to do the answer, in order to get the answer out of all these options, you need not to solve it. You can see that RT ln 10, this all will be giving you what? It will be giving you some positive value, and if delta G is positive, means your reaction will not proceed in the forward, even it will be proceeding in what? It will be proceeding in the backward direction. So a correct answer here will be what? Option A will be the correct answer. Again, the key point of the question, we are having some reversible reaction, equilibrium is there, and they are not telling us what is a reaction condition now, whether it is remaining at equilibrium or what. Even that is a question only, okay? So they are giving us some 5 moles of N2O4 and NO2. They are asking us how will be the direction of the reaction, how the reaction will proceed. So they are giving us two data for reactant and the product, delta G naught, with which we can find out delta G naught of the reaction, and delta G naught is coming 0, so the delta G is simply coming positive by taking RT ln QP, and if it is coming positive means reaction should proceed in the backward direction. This is the determination of the reaction direction by taking help of this delta G data. Okay. Next we are having question number 58, which is 0.03 molar aqueous solution of a weak monobasic acid solution is which is having K is equal to 10 raised to power minus 12 is titrated against a 0.01 molar NaOH solution. What is the H plus at the end point? Okay, in the end we need to find out H plus concentration. So let us see what they are giving us. They are giving us some weak monobasic acid. Let me take as a general acid like HA, which is some weak monobasic acid. It's like CH3COH. Okay, I need not to write, it's fine. It's like acetic acid, because acetic acid is also one of the example of weak acid. HA is titrated against what? It is titrated against NaOH. Then we know that if weak acid is there, NaOH is there, they are going to react. It will be giving us what? NaA, and along with that we'll be having water. As we know that Na is a spectator ion, so it can also be written as Ha plus OH minus. It will be giving us what? A minus and water. Now in order to understand how will be the nature of the final solution, or how will be coming to pH or the H plus concentration in the end, we should be having data of how much Ha and OH minus we are taking. So Ha concentration is already given, which is what? 0.03 molar. OH minus NaOH concentration we are taking 0.01. When this reaction will be there, this will be getting consumed, this will be forming in this will be remaining 0.02, here 0.01 and 0.01. Now we need to understand what all we are left with. Okay, what all we are left with will be having this 0.01, which is the concentration of A minus. Obviously Na will be there, right? So some salt of NaA is there, and we are having some weak monobasic acid leftover concentration, which is what? 0.02. So I am left with one one monobasic acid, the weak monobasic acid, and along with that we are having what? Salt. So this is your weak acid and this is a salt of weak acid plus strong base. And I hope by understanding this you would be coming to the conclusion that it is nothing but your acidic buffered solution, right? And if it is your acidic buffered solution, simply you are supposed to apply the formula, and formula will be what? It will be pH is equal to pKa plus log, will be having what? Will be having salt concentration divided by, will be having acid. Here salt I mean A minus concentration only, right? So pKa, Ka for this acid is already provided. pK will be what? Minus log of 10 raised to power minus 12. So it will be coming what? 12 only, 12 plus log. A minus, or the salt concentration here is what? 0.01, right? 0.01, and the downside will be having for acid. What is there? 0.02. So it will be coming like this. Will be having what? 12 plus log 1 by 2. So I can write it 12 minus log 2. This is pH, right? Now in the question they are not asking us about pH, they are asking us about H plus concentration. So if you are having pH, we can come to H plus concentration also. It will be simply coming minus log of H plus concentration. It will be I can write it like this, minus log of H plus, it is what? 12 minus log 2, and if I'll take minus there so that I can do the simplification further, it will be coming what? Log 2 minus 12, and now I can understand log 2 minus 12 can also be written as log 2 into 10 raised to power minus 12, because it will be ultimately giving you what? Log 2 minus 12 log 10, right? So it will be log 2 minus 12 only, and with this if I'll just equate, we'll be having what? H plus concentration will be simply coming 2 into 10 raised to power minus 12 molar, right? 2 into 10 to the power minus 12 molar. Everything is correct only, right? Pretty much. Next, if I need to talk about the key points of this question, we are having some weak monobasic acid and we are reacting it with NaOH, we are titrating it. So if some amount is provided, first of all try to understand after this reaction what we are left with, what kind of nature of solution is there. It is nothing but acidic buffer solution, for which we are having the formula coming to pH. If we are coming to pH, it's easy to get H plus concentration also, which will be option B, 2 into 10 to the power minus 12 molar would be the answer. 59 number, the correct formula for Freon 12. Okay, it's a normal textbook question. Freons are also important. So Freon are nothing but chlorofluoro compounds of methane and ethane. It's given as a topic in textbook. Freon 12. Yeah, the answer here should be CF2 Cl2, means option C would be the correct answer. And for now I can just quickly tell you how do we do Freon naming, right? If we are having some compound, how do we do Freon naming? So Freon can be written as CBA, where C is number of carbon atoms minus 1 and B is number of hydrogen atoms plus 1, and A basically refer to number of fluorine atoms in the compound. And for this CF2Cl2, if we see carbon is 1, so Freon carbon is 1, so we can write Freon 0, right? C value will be 0. How many hydrogen? No hydrogen is there, so H plus 1, so we'll be having 1. How many fluorines are there? 2 fluorines are there, right? So I'll be having A value 2. So it can be written as Freon 12. So option C is only correct answer. If you would write it for others, it won't be Freon 12. So correct option will be C. Coming to 60 number, we are having a figure shows a graph in log 10K versus 1 by T, where K is rate constant and T is temperature. The straight line BC has a slope tan theta is equal to minus 1 upon 2.303 and intercept to phi on y-axis. Thus EA, the energy of activation is. Okay, by looking at the graph only I am understanding it is log log 10k in the y-axis, log 10k versus 1 by t, and we would be knowing the Arrhenius equation with which only we can come to this relation, right? So k is equal to a e raised to power minus a by rt, and if we will be putting ln on both sides, what will be getting ln k, it will be what, ln a minus a by rt, and ln k, they are not talking about ln k versus 1 by t, so we need to get into the form in which log 10k versus 1 by t equation could be seen. Okay, so ln k could be written as 2.303 log 10k is equal to 2.303 log 10a, and here we'll be having what, here we'll be having minus ea by r t. Okay, now if I will be simplifying it further, what I will be getting, log 10k is equal to minus ea upon 2.303 r, I'm writing this term first, and 1 upon t, and here what I will be having, I will be having log 10a. This is the final expression I am coming with. Okay, now if I see this equation will be, if I try to draw the graph for this, it is equation of y is equal to mx plus c, where m is simply, right, y is on like y is there, log 10k is there on the y axis, 1 by t is in the x axis, so this will be simply slope. Okay, so slope will be what, slope is simply minus ea upon 2.303 r, and for which also they are giving you value, tan theta is given minus 1 upon 2.303, so I can say that minus ea upon 2.303 r can be equated to minus 1 upon 2.303. everything is given in very simplified manner, right, or for the convenience only, right? So we'll be having what, ea will be equal to r, and here the answer which they are giving for activation energy, they are giving in calories, so our value will be what, 2 calories, so option C would be the correct answer. Coming to the key points of this question, they are asking, or they are giving us some graph which is log 10k versus 1 by t, so we should be knowing this equation. I am just simply deriving this equation in front of you. Okay, so we know Arrhenius equation, k is equal to ae raised to power minus a by rt. After coming to this kind of expression log 10k, I can have the slope can be equated, and ea will be equal to r, so C option would be the answer here. Sorry. Next question we are having 61, hypothetical reaction A2 plus B2 giving us 2AB, which follows the mechanism provided downside, the order of the overall reaction. Okay, so this is some complex reaction happening in number of steps. For this we have to look redetermining step, the slowest step. So with this slowest step, if I try to write down the rate, it will be coming, let us say, some rate constant of this this particular step is k, so rate will be equal to k into reactant concentration of this step, which will be what, A into B2. Now we are not done with our complete expression, right? We can see that in this case, whatever this A is coming, it is some intermediate, it is not the reactant, and if we need to substitute it with some reactant, we can take the help of the first reaction. First reaction may, let us say, some k equilibrium constant is there for the first reaction, so k equilibrium will be what, A concentration square divided by what, divided by A2. Okay, A2 concentration, and from here I can say that A will be equal to what, K equilibrium into A2 concentration raised to power what, raised to power half, and same thing I just need to substitute in this, so what I will be getting, rate will be equal to K A concentration A concentration, so it will be what, K equilibrium raised to power 1 by 2 and A2 concentration raised to power half, and along with that what we are having, B2, this I can write some new constant because both are constant, so I can put them in one, K dash, and here I will be having what, A2 half, and here I will be having B2, and by looking at this powers, right, for this A2 and B2, the overall order will be what, 1 plus 1 by 2, 1 plus 1 by 2 means 3 by 2 only, and answer will be be coming what? 3 by 2. So option C would be the correct answer here. Okay, so it's just that we need to understand the redetermining step, writing rate law, and then we have to substitute A in terms of A2. We can take help of the first reaction. Order will be coming 3 by 2. Next question we are having question number 62. Consider a reaction A gas giving us 3B gas plus 2C gas with rate constant 1.386 into 10 raised to power minus 2 minute inverse. We are starting with some 2 moles of A in 12.5 liter vessel. If the reaction is allowed to take place at constant pressure and at 298 Kelvin, then find out the concentration of B after 100 minute. Okay, fine. So we are having one reaction, just a second. We are having one reaction which is A gas giving us what? Giving us 3B gas, and along with that we are having 2C gas, and for this reaction we are having the rate constant, which is rate constant is given 1.386 into 10 raised to power minus 2 minute inverse, and by seeing this unit only we are understanding this reaction is going to be what? It is going to be first order, right? First order reaction with respect to A, and we are starting with some 2 moles of A in 12.5 liter vessel and finding like we need to find out the final concentration of B after 100 minutes, after some time. Now if we understand it's a first order reaction, first order kinetics, it is following. It's good if I just quickly see how is the T half-life for this reaction, because sometime if we see the T half-life we eventually understand what is the situation of 100 minutes. So if I need to find out T half-life, it will be what? T half is equal to ln2 by k. ln2 by k. ln2 is what? 0.693. K is given 1.386 into 10 raised to power minus 2, and when we will be solving it, it's exactly twice. So we'll be having what? 1 by 2 into 10 raised to power minus 2, 100 by 2, which will be coming what? Which will be coming 50. Means T half-life is 50. So I hope we are also understanding, like we all should be understanding what will be happening after 100 minutes. So when we say T half, means half of the A has reacted. So it means after 50 minutes, as we have started with 2 moles of A, 1 mole of A has already reacted and 1 mole will be left. And for first order, as T half is independent of the concentration, then for the next 50 minutes you will see the another half of the A will be reacting. Means 1 half, it will be 0.5. So can I say that after 100 minutes 1.5 moles of A would be reacting, so we will be left like this. We are writing at T is equal to 100 minutes. Okay, so how much will be reacting? 1.5. 2 minus 1.5 will be remaining. Here what will be coming? 3 into 1.5. Here 2 into 1.5. So it is your 0.5, it is your 4.5, it is your 3. And now we need to talk about the concentration of B. They would be asking moles. I can just simply give the idea about like 4.5 moles of B will be there, but we are supposed to find out concentration. Now as we are doing the reaction at constant pressure and temperature, so we need to understand the volume, right? The V by N will be what? It will be constant only. PV is equal to nRT. V by N will be constant because pressure and temperature is we are keeping constant. So can I say that V final by N final, it should be equal to what? V initial by N initial. Now we are having V initial, we are having N initial, N final. N final matlab how many moles are there after 100 minutes of the reaction? 0.5. 5 plus 3, 8 moles we are having. So here if I substitute, what I will be getting? V final divided by 8 is equal to V initial. How much volume we were having? 12.5 Ni initially we started with A ka 2 moles. So here if I'll be solving, we'll be getting what? 8 by 2 into 12.5 to 4, and here it will be what? 50 only, right? Here it will be what? 50. So V volume, V final volume will be coming what? It will be coming 50 liter, right? 50 liter. Now they are talking about, or we need to say the concentration of the, we need to say the concentration of B, concentration of B will be coming, concentration of B will be moles. Moles means 4.5 divided by 50, the volume, and once we will be solving it, we'll be getting 1 by 10, 5, 9. It's pretty simple. We'll be having what, 0.09, okay, 0.09 would be coming, 0.09 molar would be the answer. So again, key point for this reaction, sorry, key point for this question will be, we just need to understand the reaction as it is given first order kinetics. First just simply try to get the idea of T half-life, so that we can come to the understanding what exactly will be the situation after 100 minutes, okay. So as we understood, it is nothing but a 2 half-lives ka thing, and we'll be left with 0.5 of A, and eventually we can get B and C amount also, and finally calculation we have done for V final, concentration of B can be given as 0.09 molar. That would be the final answer. Next we are having preparation of alkyl halides in labs is least preferred by. Okay, it's again an understanding based question. Halide exchange, direct halogenation of alkanes, treatment of alcohols. Halide exchange means we are having Schwarz reaction, or we are having Finkelstein reaction. Next we are having direct halogenation of alkanes. Next we are having treatment of alcohols. ROH you treat it with PCl3, PCl5 or SOCl2, they give us alkyl halide, which will be RCl. Addition of hydrogen halide to alkene means they are talking about alkenes. You react it with HCl, HBr, they also give us a good reaction. So here the answer which will be having, it will be option B, and that also you people must be understanding. It is a direct halogenation of alkanes means they are talking about what? They are talking about photohalogenation reaction, and we know that in that case we face a problem if we'll be taking CH4 and we react it with Cl2H nu. If we are only wanting to make a CH3Cl means we want to do the monochlorination, but along with this we get dichloro product as well as we get trichloro as well as we get what? CCl4 tetrachloro product. Means first thing is ultimately we will be we are getting some mixture of products here. On the top of that, the yield of your CH3Cl will also be less only. So it means it will be becoming a very hectic job to first of all doing the separation, right? Separation of all this compound, and also the yield of CH3Cl won't be that good. That's the reason we do not generally prefer direct halogenation of alkanes in the lab. It will be becoming very chaotic thing. 63 answer would be what? B option. The next question here we are having is question number 64. The high temperature decomposition of dimethyl ether follows first order kinetics, and for which we are having some data also. Ether is ether decomposition is there into CH4 plus H2 and CO. As they are already telling us, it is following first order, and time and total pressure I think is given. Means ultimately we just need to talk about pressure of the corresponding species. We are having CH3 twice oxygen. Let us write down the reaction in the first place. We will be having CH4, and here we are having H2 and CO. Now as they are talking about at T is equal to 0, we are having some pressure which is 312, means it is simply corresponding to what? It is simply corresponding to your ether only, and after T is equal to 400 second, we will be having some different total pressure which will be corresponding to the products and the reactant. So what I am doing here, let us say T is equal to 0, we are having some PI pressure of ether which is already given though, right? We are having 312, and T is equal to 400 second में let us say some moles of ether has been dissociated, so there will be some corresponding decrement in the pressure. So we will be having what? Pi minus P. Here let us say we are having P and P. So at this, if I say the total pressure should be coming what? Total pressure should be coming Pi minus P plus 3P, Pi plus 2P. it will be coming what? It is 468. Next data which they have given for 400 second only. No, 468. And pi we are already knowing, which will be what? 312 plus 2p is equal to 468. And now if I just need to quickly solve it, it will be 468 minus 312 divided by 2. Simple calculation will be having what? P is equal to 78. And if p is equal to 78 is coming, so can I say that after t is equal to 400 second, how much pressure will be there corresponding to ether? Pi minus p, it will be equal to 312 minus 78, 312 minus 78, which should be coming okay, it should be coming 234 plus 78. Okay, fine, 234 it will be coming. Now why am I doing all this calculation here? I need to talk about it, because if you see the terms which they are asking, x and y, x is the time in seconds at which you will see the total pressure will be coming 585, and we know that for first order reaction, if we need to talk about time, it would be requiring a k value. K value means rate constant. So with the help of this second information, what we can do, we can find out k value or the rate constant of this reaction. Then we are knowing the formula, k is equal to 2.303 divided by t, and if I am writing it in terms of pressure, it will be what? Pi divided by pi minus p at 400 seconds. So from here, if I just put 2.303, t is equal to 400. Here what will be having? Log of pi, pi is 312, pi minus p, how much is there? 234. So it means we will have to provide you log values here, and for now I can to just quickly solve it. 312 Okay, for me, after doing this complete calculation, it is coming around 7.2. It is coming around 7.2 into 10 raised to power minus 4, right? 10 raised to power minus 4 second inverse k value is coming. Now, if we are having understanding, it's a first order kinetics, we are having k value, we can talk about any particular time, what pressure will be there, or if some total pressure is given, how will be the time, okay? Now, we need to talk about the second situation. Second situation we are having what? Second situation we are having for t is equal to, second situation we are having at which total pressure is what? 585. I am having little less space. Let me just see if we can add on one page here, but again we'll have to refer to the first slide again and again. Let me try to put things here only. So let us say I am writing the data of some t is equal to like some t seconds mein we are t is equal to x second mein if we are writing out the data. So let us say some moles of ether are dissociated, and the corresponding to that some p dash pressure will be or there will be decrement of p dash pressure for ether. So pi minus p dash, you will be having what? P dash and p dash. So ultimately the total pressure here will be what? Pi plus 2p dash. It is given what? It is given 585, and if I will be solving it now, 585 So we are getting p value from here. I will be getting 136.5, and now if I need to find out how will be pi minus p dash, means at t is equal to x second how much pressure will be there corresponding to ether. It will be what? 312 minus 136.5. It should be coming around 170. 312 minus 136.5, it should be coming 175.5 only. And now if we are knowing this, can I do the calculation upside, like how will be the t second, like how will be the time in a second. So from this what I will be having, t is equal to 2.303 divided by k, k is r 7.2 into 10 to the power minus 4, and here we'll be having log of pi is given 312, pi minus p dash at t is equal to x second, we are having what, 175.5. and now if I will be solving this, what I will be getting, log 312 divided by okay, I am getting some around 799.26, means it is approximately coming to, because here they are not giving us in any value in points and all, so 799.26, it is coming close to what, 800, so x value is 800, and I think by calculating x values, two options are already eliminated, which is option B and C. So either the answer should be A option or D option. Okay, so x value is simply coming, or t ka value here is coming 800 second, approx 800 second it will be coming. Next we need to talk about how will be the y value. Now as we understand, it is following first order kinetics, and if we need to talk about what will be the time when this reaction will be completing, and that will be infinite, that's why first order reaction never goes to completion. Okay, but now they are asking us what like at time is equal to infinite, what we need to talk about, what will be the total pressure. So you just understand, in this case if the reaction we are assuming it will be completed in infinite time, so pi here, all pi will be, the ether will be completely dissociated, means here will be P will be what, it will be Pi only, and how many moles of CH4, H2 and CO will be forming, Pi, Pi and Pi. So we'll be having a total pressure can be given as what, total pressure can be given as 3 Pi, and 3 Pi matlab will be having 3 into 312, it should be simply coming 326, 313, 339, right, 936. So option A would be what, option A would be the correct answer. I think this is the only question in which we are requiring this much calculation and log values. Okay, now I need to just quickly summarize how we are dealing with this question. Some reaction is being provided, we need to talk about the two terms x and y, we have to find out the value. This is data of time in seconds and total pressure. For this what I did, at time is equal to 400 second, already total pressure is there, so I am finding P value, and with this P I can just find out what will be Pi minus P, the pressure corresponding to ether at 400 second, and with this I can put it in the equation. K value will be coming. With the help of K value, I can find out the time at which this will be the total pressure by putting it in the equation. And if X value is coming, Y value they are talking about infinite time, means the total pressure will be corresponding to these three, which will be 3 into Pi, 3 into 312 will be coming, okay, which is 326, 313, 339, means we will be having 936. So option A would be the correct answer. Coming to 65, aryl fluoride may be prepared from arene diazonium chloride using, okay, a very straightforward question. We need to prepare fluorine connected to aryl, right? So here I can talk about benzene diazonium. We will be having what, N2 positive, benzene N2 positive, Cl minus. This is an example of arene diazonium chloride, and if we will be reacting it with HBF4 and we'll be heating it further, we get what? We get fluorobenzene. So correct answer is already given in the option A. And how does this happen? Just a second. If we'll be reacting it with HBF4, first of all you will see we will be getting N2 positive and BF4 minus, and along with that HCl will be coming out. And next when we heat this, you will see the fluorine from BF4 minus, it will be coming and it will be reacting with this carbon, and what we will be getting? We will be getting a fluorobenzene, right? And along with that what will be forming? N2, and along with that BF3 will be forming. So it is a preparation method for the fluorobenzene or aryl fluoride, I shall say, from what? Diazonium chloride by using HBF4. So correct option will be A option only. Correct option will be A option. Something has happened or what? Next question we are having question number 66 in which some reactant is given and we are having H plus with the heating products obtained in the above reaction are. Okay, first of all see you are having a compound in which OH group is there, H plus we are having as a reagent and heating is there. So it means we just simply need to talk about dehydration reaction. We will be having CH3, here we are having OH. When you will be doing a reaction with H plus and in the presence of heating, ultimately first of all this OH leaves in the form of water, and then from this carbon if H plus will be leaving, so what product you will be expecting? Overall you need to remove the water only, right? So here what will be getting? We will be getting the pi bond dehydration reaction. Now we need to understand this particular species, right? This particular compound, it is not having any plane of symmetry or center of symmetry, so it will be what? It will be optically active, right? And it will be having its own enantiomer, right? It will be having its own enantiomer, and enantiomer means the known superimposable mirror image, which will be this only, right? The known superimposable mirror image of this compound will be what? It will be this, and this you can understand if OH will be taking up H plus, first of all positive charge will be coming, and from here also you can talk about if H plus will be releasing from this carbon, right? Will be getting pi bond, and if it will be releasing from this carbon, it will be coming a pi bond here, right? And now they are actually like the structure wise they are same, right? But stereo, if you understand, they are nothing but mirror image of each other, not having POS, COS. So what they are enantiomers, and if they are enantiomers, what answer we will be getting here? The answer will be option A, racemic mixture we will be getting, the racemic products would be there. Okay, so yeah, this is about 66 number question. Coming to 67, the transition state of the given SN2 is, okay, we are having some reactant, we are reacting it with RO minus SN2 reaction, fine, we need to talk about transition state. So we know that in SN2 reaction, we will be having benzene connected with C hydrogen, and we will be having what? C hydrogen, and we will be having hydrogen, and we'll be having what? We'll be having Br, and we need to react it with RO minus. So RO minus will come from the back side and carbon bromine bond will be releasing. So in this case we will be getting a transition state, and final product will be RO negative will be replacing this carbon. And when we need to talk about transition state, it will be penta coordinated, because in SN2 reaction, as the RO negative will come and attack at the carbon, simultaneously carbon and bromine bond will be breaking. Ultimately your OR minus will start giving its electron to the carbon, so this bond will be partially formed. And I can see that out of all these four options, D option mein you can see the OR and carbon bond is partially formed, means it has started donating its electrons, so the charge will be what? Now it will be partial negative, and carbon bromine bond will be partially broken, means bromine will start getting what? It will be having a partial negative charge. In other cases they are giving positive, negative, positive, positive and all, these will not be correct, and the correct answer will be what? D option, because a transition state here will be pentacoordinated. Pentacoordinated means carbon is surrounded by total 5 things. OR minus will attack at the carbon, and meanwhile or simultaneously carbon Br bond will be breaking and Br will be releasing from here, and in this we can see the correct charges on the OR and bromine, because one is donating, so if it is partially formed, the charge will be partial negative. Now it is releasing, so the charge will start developing on the bromine and it will be bearing partial negative charge. So the correct option here will be D, 467. Coming to next number 68, for the given reaction we are having some reactant arrow, we are having NaNH2, second number we are having red hot iron tube, 873 Kelvin, giving us a major product. Okay. Some reactant is given which is CH, CH3, here we are having what? CH and Br, right? Here we are having, just a second. Here we are having one hydrogen, and here we are having what? Here we are having one bromine, okay, and we are reacting it with what? NaNH2. NaNH2 means we are having NH2 minus, a strong base, so ultimately what it will be doing? It will be doing elimination of hydrogen and the bromine from here, because NaNH2 will come, take up hydrogen and bromine will release, and what we will be getting? We will be getting CH3. Here what will be getting? C. A new pi bond will be coming, CH3, C, triple bond, C, H, this will be the propine, okay, and next we are reacting it with what? Next we are reacting it with the red hot iron tube. Next we are keeping it in red hot iron tube at 873 Kelvin. Now we need to remember, or we need to understand the formation of benzene from acetylene, right? That also happens, which will be converting into aromatic benzene ring. Here also we are having what? C triple bond, CH3, C triple bond, CH, alkyne is there. So if it will be undergoing cyclic polymerization, what we'll be getting? We'll be getting CH3. We'll be having CH3, C triple bond, CH, and likewise if we'll be having 3 such moles, okay, C triple bond, C. Here we are having methyl, here we are having what? C triple bond, C, H, and here we are having what? Methyl. Now if these 3 molecules of propine, if they will be reacting with each other, they will undergo cyclic polymerization and they will give you final compound. And for this what you can do, if you'll be breaking these pi bonds from the carbon, one vacancy will be getting created. So this carbon, this carbon, this carbon, this carbon, this carbon, and this carbon and this carbon, when they will be connecting with each other, you know what you will be getting? You will be getting like this, okay. So let us say if this is first carbon and second carbon is getting connected, okay. First this is, we are having second, second we are having third, we are having fourth, here we are having fifth, and here we are having sixth. So here we are having sixth, fifth, fourth, 3, 2, 1 and 2. We will be having pi bond, 3 and 3 and 4 we will be having pi bond, 5 and 6 will be having, and second carbon we will be having one methyl group, fourth carbon also will be having one methyl group, and 6 carbon also we will be having what? We will be having a methyl group. So this 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5 trimethyl benzene will be coming, okay. So I can see the correct answer which is there in the D option, 1, 3, 5 trimethyl benzene, and we in the common name we also call it mesitylene, okay. So this will be the final answer. Now how we are supposed to understand this, like how we are supposed to deal with this question? First of all, see some vinyl bromide kind of system is there, right? Vinylic bromide of system is there, and we are taking NaNH2. NaNH2 it's a strong base, so with the help of strong base elimination we are doing elimination. When it will take H, this electron will be used in the making of pi bond, and Br will release. So what will be getting? CH3, C triple bond, CH. It is an example of alkyne. Now you need to remember, if we have HC, ethyne is there, so 3 moles of ethyne, when we keep it in red hot iron tube, it polymerizes and it gives us what? Benzene, right? Aromatization will be there. And here also, if we'll be having 3 moles of this alkyne, when they will convert into aromatic system, you will be getting what? You'll be getting mesitylene, which is 1,3,5 trimethyl benzene. So correct option here will be D. Okay. Next, we are having question number 69. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and the other is reason. Okay, assertion mein we are having haloalkanes reacts with KCN to form alkyl cyanides as a main product, while AgCN will form isocyanide as the main product. Okay, that is perfectly absolutely right. Reason are KCN and AgCN both are what? Both are highly ionic compound. Fine. So it's like if we have any Rx and we react it with what? KCN, we know that K positive CN minus, right? So CN minus, KCN is ionic compound, so CN minus will be the nucleophile, it will be attacking at the delta positive and X release, and in this case the compound which will be forming is RC triple bond N. It's a textbook based question only, right? Not a difficult one. But when we have AgCN, right? AgCN is there as it is a covalent compound, or it will be having more covalent characters are there, so it will not be able to furnish that many CN minus. So the other option for this behaving as a nucleophile is what? Nitrogen can use its lone pair and can attack at the R, and that only we see in the mechanism. And when nitrogen attack at this R carbon, what we will be getting? We get finally R and C, right? Isocyanides are forming. So assertion A is completely fine, but reasoning they are saying they both are highly ionic compound, that is wrong. So A is correct, but R is not correct. What will be the option? Option A would be the correct answer here. Okay. Next one, we are having the pair from the following pairs having both compounds with net known zero dipole moment. Just a second, let me have water. Next, we are having question number 70. There are total four pairs, and we have to talk about which case will be having known zero dipole moment. And I hope it's pretty much understandable. Cis-butene, trans-butene will be having what? Will be having zero dipole moment. Benzene will be having zero dipole moment. 1,4 dichlorobenzene has a zero dipole moment. What will be 1,4 dichlorobenzene? It is this only, no? And in this case CCl dipole vector will be cancelling out what? The down CCl. So ultimately it will be having zero dipole moment. So out of all these four, the D option you will be having CH2Cl2 and CHCl3, which will be having what? Which will be having a tetrahedral structure. So in this case you will not see cancellation as well as CHCl3. So they will be having, both of them will be having non-zero dipole moment. Now if you look at the option cis-butene, trans-butene, we already understand, right? Out of which trans-butene is having zero dipole moment. So cross benzene is having. Also here Anisidine is given, which is nothing but this compound benzene connected with NH2 and OCH3. Now it is in the para position, so we call it para anisidine. And likewise we have ortho and meta also. So in this case also cancellation won't be there, okay? But benzene will be having a zero dipole moment, so this B option cannot be the answer. Same way C, we are having 1,4 dichlorobenzene, so that cannot be the answer. Correct answer will be D option. Next, we are having question number 71 for the first order reaction C2H4O giving us CH4 gaseous plus CO. The initial pressure of C2H4O is 80 torr and total pressure at the end of 20 minutes is 120 torr. The time needed in minutes for 75% decomposition of C2H4O would be, okay, we are having one reaction C2H4O gaseous giving us what? Giving us CH4 gaseous plus we are having what? CO gaseous. Now the initial pressure is provided and another important thing is first order, okay, we are having first order. Total pressure at the end of 20 minutes is 120 torr, okay. At the end of 20 minutes, T is equal to 20 minutes, we are having 120 torr. And another thing which we need to talk about is when this will be 75% decomposed, how will be what? How will be the 75% decomposition when it will be there, okay. So now we need to understand the initial pressure which is given T is equal to 0 second, we are having 80 torr, okay, 80 torr is there, and T is equal to 20 minutes, T is equal to 20 minutes, we are having total 120 torr. So 80 torr, let us say it is our Pi, and if some moles of C2H4O will be reacting, so we'll be getting what? Pi minus P, here will be getting what? Here will be having P and P. So here the total moles will be coming Pi minus P plus 2P. Total moles will be Pi plus P, and they are giving us data for after 20 minutes we are having total what? 120 torr, and Pi is 80, so P will be coming what? It will be coming 40 torr. And if P is coming 40 torr, it is simply telling you the C2H4O, the half of the amount has already been reacted, so pressure is reduced to half only, right? 80 minus 40, it will be 40. So can I say that the T half-life of this reaction is nothing but what? It is your 20 minutes. And now you should understand why did I simply try to calculate a P thing, so that I can get the idea ki this T is equal to 20 minutes, what exactly is happening, is it somewhere related to the half-life or what, okay. So if T half-life is coming 20 minutes, we need to talk about time needed in minutes for 75% decomposition, okay. So T is equal to 20 minutes में 80 torr will be converting into 40 torr, right, and T is equal to 75, matlab next further half life we need to talk about, okay. So next further half life matlab 20, and next if 50% का 50% further will be dissociating, it will be 75% for the C2H4O. So 20 plus 20, T75 will all simply be coming what? T75% will all simply be coming 20 plus 20 will be having what? We will be having 40 minutes. So what will be the answer here? 40 minutes would be the answer. So now when a student is trying to solve this question, first of all see the reaction which is given. First order reaction is there, some data they are giving, initial pressure and total pressure. Even if you have seen, I when I just read the question, first of all I try to understand what I can do with this data, okay. So I simply try to write down Pi minus P, understanding what is a P or reduction in the pressure, which will be 40 torr, means it is a half-life. With half-life I can talk about T75%, right, time at which 75% decomposition will be there. It will be simply coming what? It will be simply coming 40 minutes. Hey guys, the next question we are having, question number 72. Consider the equilibrium A gas plus 2B gas giving us C gas. When the reaction was carried out at 120 degrees Celsius, the equilibrium concentration of A and B were 3 molar and 4 molar respectively. When the volume of the vessel was doubled and system is allowed to reach equilibrium, the concentration of B was found to be 3 molar. The original concentration of C is, okay, a very big statement is given. Now we can understand it in small statements. So we are having equilibrium, which is A gas plus 2B gas will be giving us what? Will be giving us C gas. And when the reaction was carried out at 120 degrees Celsius, the equilibrium constant concentration of A and B is given. Okay, we are having some equilibrium concentration of A and B at T is equal to T equilibrium, right? We will be having 3 molar concentration of A and 4 molar concentration is there B, and we do not know about C. Let us say some X concentration is there for C only. Now they are asking us to do some like they are talking about some changes. What we are doing, volume of the vessel is doubled, and now the system is allowed to reach equilibrium again. And according to Le-Chatelier's principle, if we will do the volume doubled, the reaction should go in the backward direction. So from here, first of all, what I can do, I can just quickly find out K equilibrium. K equilibrium will be what? It should be X divided by what? X divided by 3, and here we will be having what? 4 square. Now you will understand, like next only you will understand why did I write down the expression of K equilibrium there. If we understand the first equilibrium, let us talk about the changes. We will be having A gas plus 2B gas giving us what? C gas, and if we are doing volume double, what we will be having, the concentration will get half, X by 2, here will be having what? 4 by 2 means we'll be having 2, here will be having 3 by 2, and as we'll be making some these changes, the reaction will go in the backward. So just imagine some Y change will be there in the concentration. So it will be what? X by 2 minus Y, here it will be what? 2 plus 2Y, here it will be what? 3 by 2 plus Y. And as we know that in the new equilibrium, if we talk about this new equilibrium achieving, right, we are having what? 2 plus 2Y, B concentration is already given what? 3, and if we'll be solving this, what will be getting? 1, Y will be simply coming 1 by 2 means 0.5. okay, so if we understand Y value here, now what I will do, I will write K equilibrium expression from this also. So what I will be having K equilibrium, it will be coming X by 2 minus 1 by 2. So can I write it like this? X minus 1 upon 2 divided by, I am having for A, it will be what? 3 by 2 plus 1 by 2. 4 by 2, it will be 2 only, okay, and 2 plus 2y, it is already given 3, so we'll be having what? 3 square. Do not forget about this, okay. So 3 square, and if we talk about the old equilibrium constant is coming this, and new equilibrium may will be having equilibrium constant this. So what we can do, we can just simply equate this. What will be having? X 4 square, 16 3 48, okay, here will be having what? X minus 1 upon 2, so 2 to 4 3 9 4 36. So we'll be having, like if we'll be solving this further, we'll be getting what? 36x 48x minus 48x minus 36, it will be 12x, and here we'll be having 48. So what we'll be getting from here, we'll be getting 4. okay, so what will be the original concentration of the C? It should be coming 4 only, right? 4 molar. Now although I have solved this question, if I need to talk about how will be the key points, first of all, see the reaction, what is given. They are already giving you equilibrium concentration. Now what you can do, you can just assume the C concentration, the concentration for the C gaseous, it will be what? It is some X molar at that equilibrium. As we are making some changes in the volume, so the new equilibrium will be achieved, and as the reaction is moving in the backward, so what we can do, we can write the expression like this only, and finding out Y value, and then writing down the K equilibrium constant, and if we'll be equating, we are coming to the answer which will be what? 4, which will be the original concentration at the first equilibrium. Answer will be 4 only. Coming to 73, consider the following equation, 2SO2 gas plus O2 gas giving us what? 2SO3 gas, and delta H is equal to minus 190 kilojoule. Okay, exothermic. Fine. We need to talk about the number of factors which will increase the yield of SO3 at equilibrium from the following. There are some 4-5 factors are there. We need to talk about which case it will lead to the increase in the yield of what? SO3. 3. Okay, first one is A, increasing temperature. No, if will be increasing temperature, your reaction will go in the backward, so this will not be the answer. Okay, increasing pressure, right? If we will increase the pressure according to Le-Chatelier's principle, it will be reaction move in the forward direction, right? Forward direction, so this will increase what? This will increase the yield of SO3, adding more SO2. It is even more straightforward. If we will be adding the reactant, reaction will move towards forward, adding more O2. Again, this will also be the answer. Addition of catalyst. Next, addition of catalyst. Catalysts do not affect the position of the equilibrium. It can increase, like it increases the rate of the reactions. Okay, so rate of forward and the backward reaction. So ultimately, what all option looks like correct option here? B, C, and D. So how many factors would be there which will increase the yield of this product SO3? It will be 3. So correct answer numerical value would be 3 only. Easy question, we just have to apply Le-Chatelier's principle. Coming to the answer, straightforward. Coming to 74, we are having in the presence of sunlight, benzene reacts with Cl2 to give a product X. Number of hydrogen in X is. Okay, it is again a textbook based reaction. We are having a benzene, we are reacting it with what? Benzene reacting with Cl2 in the presence of light. Okay, in the presence of light. Now it's an important reaction. In this case, actually benzene it shows addition reaction with the Cl2, and it gives us what? It gives us addition of the two chlorines in the pi bond. Okay, so we'll be having what? Cl, here we have Cl, here also we have what? Cl. Normal addition reaction through radical mechanism it will be going, and it will be giving us what? This compound, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexachloro cyclohexane. Okay, and we have one common name also for this compound, which will be gammaxene. Okay, now we need to talk about how many hydrogens are there. So the formula is C6H6 Cl6. How many hydrogen? 6. So this would be the answer here. Also when we do this reaction of benzene with Cl2, if this pi bond will be reacting with the chlorine, the first step, when the first pi bond will be breaking, the activation energy would be highest, because benzene has aromatic characters, and the first case or the first reaction, first addition reaction, it will be having highest activation energy, and once aromaticity is disturbed, the next pi bond will be reacting with more faster rate, and that's why reaction do not stop at the breaking of only one pi bond, and instead all the 3 pi bonds reacts, and they give us what? Hexachloro compound, and we'll be having what? C6H6Cl6. So the number of hydrogen here would be 6. If somebody asks you a number of chlorine, that answer will also be coming 6. So 6 will be the numerical value answer. Coming to next question, question number 75, we are having a chloro compound A, which for which we are having two statements given. Chloro compound A forms aldehydes on ozonolysis followed by hydrolysis. So this statement is telling us whatever chloro compound, whatever chlorine containing compound we are having, it will be having some alkene, so it is giving us ozonolysis reaction. Second statement, which is second statement which is given is, when vaporized completely, 1.53 gram of A gives 448 ml of vapor at STP, the number of carbon atoms in a molecule of compound A. Okay, so as such there is no molecular formula and all is given for the compound A, but some information is provided related to that. First thing, it is chlorine containing compound, one chlorine is there, as well as it is some alkene, and they are talking about when we are sending our compound into gaseous state, when we are vaporizing it, we are having some volume ka data. Okay, 448 ml is the volume of 1.53 gram of A compound. Okay, so from this can I find out the number of moles at STP? 448 ml. What we can do, we can just simply divide it by 22400. Okay, with this what we will be getting? We will be getting number of moles. And now why we are finding out number of moles, I will be coming to that also, like next minute. So 448 divided by 2240. Okay, when we will be solving this, what we will be getting? 224, okay, 224, 248, 224, 224. So it is simply double. Okay, we'll be having what? 2, like I'm talking about 224 into 2. So we'll be having what? 2 by 100. So what we'll be having? We'll be having 0.02 moles of A, and 0.02 moles of A is having how much gram? 1.53 gram. So if 0.02 moles are there in A, in 1.53 gram of A, so what we can do? We can easily find out the molecular weight. Weight upon molecular weight is simply number of moles. Number of moles means 0.02. Weight we are already having, so molecular weight will be given as what? Weight divided by 0.02. So here we'll be having what? 1.53 divided by 0.02. Okay, and when we will be solving this, let me do it quickly. 1.53 divided by 0.02, it would be coming 76.5. Now as we are understanding the molecular weight, what we can do next, as it is given it's a chloro compound, so definitely 76.5 molecular weight may, if we are having one chlorine, okay, molecular weight in the sense I am talking about molar mass here. So 76.5 may we'll be having what? We'll be having one chlorine mass will be what? 35.5, and if we will be subtracting that, what we will be getting? We'll be getting 41, right? 41 plus 35.5 is only 76.5. Now whatever this 41 is there, it is corresponding to what? It is corresponding to carbon and hydrogens. It is corresponding to carbon and hydrogens which are remaining in what? Which are there in the compound A. Okay, and if 41 is there, what we can understand, if we'll be having let us say 3 carbons are there. 3 carbons means we should be having the mass which will be 12 into 3, 36, and rest of the mass will be 5. So 5 hydrogens would be there. So the formula which will be coming, it will be what? C3H5Cl. So 3 carbon compound, and as you can see the formula, it will be having double bond equivalent 1, means it will be having some alkene like structure, as well as molecular weight is getting satisfied. If you will be like, you can do it with trial error, or you can apply that formula also. Okay, there is no issue, but I just did it with trial error. If you will take 2 carbon, this mass will not be getting satisfied. Okay, 41, 2 carbon means 24, and rest all will be hydrogen. So that's why I understood 12 into 3, 36 plus 5 and plus 35.5, it will be simply 76.5. So how many number of carbons will be there in the compound? It will be 3. Although we have done the solving and all, but if we need to need to understand the idea, how should we approach this kind of question, read the statements, what information is being provided. It's a chlorine containing compound, so chlorine is there. Ozonolysis means it will be some alkene kind of thing, and vaporizing, when we are doing vaporization, we are having some volume data. So with volume data we are coming to the moles, and if moles is there, weight is there, we can find out molecular weight or molar mass. We can find out, which will be coming what? 76.5, and if 76.5 is coming, I have done further calculation. 35.5 will be corresponding to chlorine, rest will be corresponding to carbon and hydrogen, and you can go with trial and error, or you can use the formula also. Okay, so trial and error, we are just simply getting a 3 value or 3 answer for the number of carbon atoms. Okay, so this is how 75th question should be done. Thank you so much guys for watching the video. Thank you all.